Dead soil looks, well, lifeless, compacted and sort of grey. Plants struggle to grow and even weeds barely take hold, but you know, beneath that hard surface the potential for revival is still there. What most gardeners don't realise is that soil microbes don't need expensive fertilisers or fancy inputs to come back. They only need a steady supply of food, the right balance of moisture and ingredients that, well, kickstart their population. With the right approach, even the most depleted ground can come alive again, and the beauty of it is that it doesn't require heavy digging or constant attention. You know, this is what makes the lazy but genius method so effective. It works with nature's own design. When soil looks dead, the biggest problem isn't just lack of nutrients, it's lack of microbial activity. Bacteria, fungi and actinomycetes are what drive decomposition and turn raw materials into humus. Without them, soil becomes sterile, hard and unable to hold water properly. So, reviving microbes means, well, giving them what they need most. Carbon to feed on, nitrogen to fuel their growth and, of course, organic matter to house them. Once the first wave of microbial activity begins, they multiply quickly, restore balance and attract worms and other soil workers to finish the job. Every revival begins with carbon. You see, microbes thrive on it because it serves as their energy source. Cardboard, shredded paper, straw and dried leaves are honestly the easiest carbon sources to add. Instead of trying to dig these deep into the soil, the lazy method, if you will, is to just lay them right on top and let moisture and microbes do the rest. For example, a gardener working with dead clay can simply spread flattened cardboard sheets across the bed, soak them with water and then cover them with about 2 inches of compost. Within a few weeks, the underside of that cardboard will be crawling with fungi threads and microbial colonies. That's the first sign of revival, really. The cardboard feeds fungi while also softening the soil beneath, creating channels that worms later expand. Carbon alone isn't enough. Microbes also need nitrogen to grow, and this is where kitchen scraps, grass clippings or even diluted urine come into play. These nitrogen sources act like fuel, speeding up the breakdown of carbon materials and pushing microbial activity into high gear. A lazy yet effective approach is to scatter food scraps between layers of straw or cardboard. As they decompose, nitrogen releases slowly and balances the carbon, creating the perfect zone for microbial expansion. The ratio that works well is roughly 2 parts carbon material to 1 part nitrogen-rich material. For example, layering 2 inches of shredded leaves with 1 inch of fresh grass clippings provides the balance microbes need. Too much carbon slows decomposition, while too much nitrogen can create foul odours. The sweet spot is where decomposition is steady and microbial life flourishes. Dead soil revives fastest when it stays consistently moist but not waterlogged. Microbes cannot work in drought-like conditions, and they suffocate in standing water. The Amish and other traditional farmers often rely on thick mulch layers because mulch regulates this balance naturally. A layer of straw wood chips or old hay holds just enough moisture to keep microbes alive even during hot spells. You know, covering soil also protects it from the pounding effect of rain, which would otherwise compact the surface and limit oxygen exchange. When soil stays covered and damp, microbial colonies can expand deeper, pulling organic matter down and transforming it into humus. Sometimes dead soil has so few microbes that it struggles to start on its own. In those cases, adding a microbial inoculant provides the jumpstart. Finished compost, vermicompost or compost tea all serve this purpose. Even a thin layer of worm casting spread across a bed introduces billions of active microbes in one step. From there, the food sources of carbon and nitrogen take over, and the colonies multiply rapidly. A simple example is pouring a diluted compost tea directly onto a layer of cardboard and straw. Within days, fungal networks will spread through the organic matter, breaking it down faster than it would on its own. This combination of inoculation and feeding is one of the fastest ways to see visible improvement. You know, the genius of this approach is that it avoids constant turning or digging. Microbes, worms and fungi are really the true labour force here, and when they're given the right food, they work non-stop to repair the soil. Instead of exhausting yourself trying to break compacted ground, you just build layers above it and let life slowly move downward. After one season, the top layer is already crumbly. After 2 or 3 seasons, the soil underneath begins to look completely different. Dark, spongy and just full of life. The revival of dead soil doesn't require force or, expensive inputs. It only requires feeding the microbial world with carbon and nitrogen, keeping the soil moist and covered, and when necessary, inoculating it with compost or castings. From there, nature takes over. The transformation may not happen overnight, but it is permanent. Once microbes and humus return, soil keeps improving season after season. If you're tired of fighting lifeless ground, start small with these ingredients. Layer cardboard, add scraps, keep it covered and let the microbes do the rest. Soon enough, you'll see worms returning, roots penetrating deeper, and your soil regaining the rich living structure every gardener dreams of. For more proven soil revival methods and lazy gardener tricks that work, make sure to subscribe to Soil Doctor and share this guide with others who want to bring their soil back to life without endless effort.